He got S+. Hey, in his report card, he has a tendency to kick people from behind. They bait us and switch to Thresh, but more surprisingly, Jackie loves Kai'Sa here early. That's going to be fun.
This was banned in the last game, so you know LGD are afraid of this, and especially with the proficiency that Jackie was showing in that last game, where carrying as this Aphelios, taking steps forward, making sure that he was absorbing everything, all the attention. Well, Kai'Sa gives him the opportunity to be that big carry once again.
Still looking at the possibility, and it's locked in. Peanuts Lee Sin welcomes you back to the Rift. And things get interesting because we have no solo laners for both teams. We've already got the Ornn ban, and you expect to see things like the Wukong, but what else?
That's what I'm thinking. Wukong would be up there for me at the moment, and something that Longxing has played previously.
Yeah.
All right.
PTSD after that one.
I mean, look, you know what Kai'Sa Kayle is like. Kai'Sa Karma, very similar show, to be honest. So getting rid of this, making sure that there's no funny business that can come in. There is still the opportunity, though, if they want to go for, well, maybe putting the Nautilus mid, but I'd be surprised and going for an Enchanter support or some sort of Enchanter mid and still having a similar game style. But I think with when you see a Nautilus here, they're going to be looking for much more of a heavy engage rather than looking for this kite back.
I mean, when you already see that some of the big engages are taken off the board, namely with the Ornn, it's going to be questionable to see what top esports actually get. Renekton was the final ban for LGD, and I'm surprised that Knight might actually have a chance at Zoe this game, which is often banned away considering how big he is. What is it? Kassadin on Xie. Okay. A couple of things open that we saw weren't last time.
So I think Wukong here should be for LGD.
One of them.
Makes the most amount of sense. You've already got this big team fighting style. You have this really strong mid game with that pick. So I think this will be an amazing pickup here. And now you got to see what 369 wants to try and answer for that. But you've still got here looking at the final pick for LGD, the counter pick for Xie. And I mean, look, this guy, he can play a heap of different things. So God only knows what he's going to bring to the table.
Oh, 369 stop it. He's been one of the few players in the world that actually still picks up the Scion. Could it be a boring 369 in this game? Well, his Jace is still there, but doesn't want to take it. Says, let's go for the Maokai in the end. I'm sorry, chat. That's how it's going to be. But with the Zoe, that's one to take away from Knight. And already excitement's in the air. Does Xie do it, or does he go something to facilitate the team fighting you're talking about?
I love the Azir pick here. Well, okay, could maybe see this. But
wait,
look, I think the Azir works well here. So basically, you look at this team come from Top Esports, and they want to run into you. You want to go with Maokai. You want to get the Sylas in for Knight. You've already got Jackie Love, this short-range AD carry. So if you have an ability here with this Azir to reset this fight with the Emperor's Divide, this works wonders for LGD, while also providing that late game damage that they were missing a little bit with their composition, where Top Esports could have just looked to scale, and then you struggle as Misfortune to get through Maokai, and Jackie Love can take over as we get to the later stages.
Peanut with his thumbs up, sat there with his ear jungle for a bit, and I think his response was, yep, I can do it. Let's go.
I mean, there's some funky mages. I mean, I've seen Syndra jungle as a thing.
Oh, God.
There's a couple of these funky mages that are floating about Brand, Morgana in the jungle, but I don't think Azir too much we'll see.
Hey, not yet. Maybe one day, but of course, you get Peanuts Lee Sin, folks, and LGD after game one. I know everyone's revving to go into this second one. We've got the team fight, the wombo, the build-up here, while skirmish heavy, and again, you look at a Maokai, a Sylas. You look at what happens around these objectives as well. And for Top Esports after game one, I mean, this comp has built us up a bit of excitement as Longxing's feeling the same. He's probably like, all right, going up against the Maokai, 369 looks bored.
I give the edge over to LGD here off the composition. I think they've got a really strong front-to-back team fighting style, and the Azir makes it really difficult for the dive-orientated comp of Top Esports to really work, because they want to get aggressive. You got Quadra melee here, and you can reset super well with Thresh, with Azir, and have your own either peel tool / mess up everyone on Top Esports with Wukong, because you can just spin on top of Xie and Kramer, or if you do get a lead and get yourselves off onto the right track, you can be the one that goes aggressive here. So I think LGD have a lot of answers for what Top Esports are trying to do.
We'll discuss it more as we get into game, because there's a lot to it here going into game two after what was such a explosive, tense is the better word. Game one was 47 minutes. of back and forth, but in such a skilled way. LGD normally, they're in Hangzhou, but here in the Shanghai Arena alongside Top Esports. Of course, everyone is in the Hongqiao Stadium here in Shanghai right now. Normally, everyone would be back, say, OMG, like Chengdu, LGD, Hangzhou, as I said before. What else? You know, Beijing for JDG. Not the case at the moment. Good to have everyone under the same roof. As we enter you into Summoner's Rift in game number 2, and you got a lethal tempo Xie. So this is very much the LCK style will team fight, and Xie is built towards that.
Yeah, looking towards those later stages, you can still go with something like the... So basically the way Azir works, if you want to go for the Comet, you're looking more at that lane-orientated style, looking to poke them out. Could even go for the Hail of Blades here. It's kind of that happy medium between being able to bully the lane against Knight here because you get those 3 quick autos. But the lethal tempo is very much a case of all in on these later game fights, these team fights, which is the style LGD are going for. So I'm happy to see Xie go, look, I don't care what happens in lane here. I know what the game plan is.
He's started with the Doran's Ring and a double potion, while for Knight coming back onto his Silas, which has been hit or miss in 2020. We saw him at MSC game number 5. Knight kind of entered up in the top lane with a lane swap, and that was not good. So we'll question his performance going into this game number 2. As for Top Esports, you got Jackie-Love on Kai'Sa now. Across the world, I know a lot of people don't think much of Kai'Sa, but Jackie-Love's Kai'Sa is iconic. As we know, it's his 2018 World Skin Champion.
It also isn't a terrible pick at the moment. It's just when you've got the likes of Ezreal, who can do so much from afar, when you've got the likes of Aphelios, who just outclasses her when it comes to that 3-item, 4-item spike, it becomes... well, why are we going towards Kai'Sa? But when you've already gotten Kalista, Ezreal, Aphelios banned, well, then you go towards Kai'Sa.
But Knight's coming into the mid lane, Dagda, and Xie is only just hit level 3. The pillar placement great with him. Scott of Duck forces the flash. That was a great duo move from Knight and Kai'Sa.
Smart play from Kai'Sa to get in behind, and Knight does manage to follow that swoop, which is fantastic. So they're able to get the flash out of Xie. So Xie now won't be able to punish as heavily as he would have liked in this mid lane with that flash down.
At the very least, though, with Peanut coming across, though, for Xie, feels confident to keep pushing this out and stay in position. Peanut was not spotted out here either.
Kai'Sa was spotted exiting bottom side, so they know he's in this bottom side jungle. Peanut wants to aggress here with Xie.
But red buff's already taken. Might be a little bit too late, but won't need the blue buff. It's red versus red with Xie coming in, as you mentioned. But there is going to be no follow-up. It's a good little kite away from Kai'Sa.
Peanut can go from scuttle to scuttle here, though, and be in great shape regardless. You've still got the pushing power from Azir here, and will have the safety of Peanut here at all times. So Peanut, in theory, should get the advantage.
I just forgot that interaction exists. As long as he presses Twisted Advance when Lung Xing is going into clone, he will follow the real one. There's not much mana in that top lane. It's not going to be too exciting to watch at this point in the game, but 369 does have the shove up there while we look towards bottom side with Peanut going towards his jungle. Yeah, we'll just keep watching top. Okay.
Maokai is actually a pain to deal with in lane. He's surprisingly strong, and especially as Lang Xing, who struggles with AP damage inherently because he's Wukong. He doesn't get magic resist off of the Stone Skin passive. So 369 will have a reasonably fun time in this top lane for the moment before we get to those later stages.
I still think it's a shame we didn't see the carry versus carry matchup. I mean, 369 and Hecarim, haven't seen that just yet. Would have been fun, especially when people think that's the answer to Wukong.
I'm curious to see what Lang Xing builds here, though, because he is against the Maokai if he goes towards the Black Cleaver, just to get that armor shred.
Oh, but hang on, that's a flash play into the bottom side. Death Sentences land, though. Yuanjia with a nice sidestep and followed through as Peanut at the end of that. A heal comes through from Jackie-Love. 2 summoners burnt versus all for Mark. So an even trade in the end.
Mark was trying to predict the flash from Yuanjia, but the rookie support for Top Esports, reading us, not burning that flash too early and manages to escape. So well played by Yuanjia to avoid what could have been a very costly death sentence.
Now 80 carries, the only ones left in the lane, at least pressure from Peanut towards the bottom side yet again. This is becoming a trend. Much like we saw in 2019, LGD's bottom side was the priority as Knight walks back into lane very precariously. He's low, but has enough for Kingslayer.
He doesn't even have a jungler here. Like, this is Knight playing super aggressive.
He just wants to push the wave, let it reset, and back away. As Surf, he knows that Xie doesn't have enough mana, but only just.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That was very, very close. And especially with that last soldier, the one just before that, dying, if he'd managed to get a little bit more of that timer there. You could have been able to kill him with just flying in with the E and picking him off. So Knight, at a knife stage for I'm not entirely sure why.
But at the very least, teleport's going to be used here by Xie. He hit 6 as he left the wave. So I was like, is Knight going to TP? Because he could just get swooped back into the turret. But the wave managed here by Xie. The early game going well here for LGD's mid laner, despite burning the flash before.
And Xie has a freeze here, so Knight has to go overextend, especially when Xie doesn't have his flash. This is in a great spot. He now start to shove it in with this dragon started, but he's already created a nice CS lead for the Azir in the mid lane.
This is going to be challenged. Peanut is a level down on Kai'Sa right now.
You don't have Kai'Sa here, though. Oh, top lane.
Yeah, okay. Cyclone, double Cyclone. The Nature's Grass goes across Longxing, but it is a Maokai. That's it. Cameraman, show me bot. What happened? Because Peanut actually went off the dragon.
So Longxing going aggressive there is to stop 369 using that teleport advantage, make sure he's low and can't do anything. But Maokai's passive, you can see already starting to heal up 369. So now it's a little bit risky for LGD to go for this dragon, especially with JackeyLove having now made it back to lane.
At least you have no Nature's Grasp with the ulti, so... Chain Vest going to be started off here by the Maokai. Executioner's calling likewise here for Longxing, while LGD are back on this one. Kai'Sa ready. Bit of a collapse from top Esports. Yuyanjia is in first, but LGD have 4 members on top of this Nautilus, shoved into the wall. Kai'Sa not in the fight. Yuyanjia gets first blooded here, but Knight gets it first, rather. As Xie now in the middle, the Azir is just dead. Peanut gets flashed on as well. Over the wall, JackeyLove ults in. Maybe a bit presumptuously as Sonic Wave can't be followed up, and maybe not. It's top Esports who take it all this time around.
And that was a comedy of errors coming through from LGD, where Knight was able to just get onto the backline so easily. Xie using that Emperor's Divide too early means that when top Esports close the gap, there's nowhere for LGD to run.
And you were talking about the teleport top. I believe 369 either came to lane or tried to TP and got cancelled, but more likely just coming back to lane. TP was used. I'm sure we'll get a replay anyway, chat. I apologize about that.
But LGD's positioning here, they get cut out between the collapse here, and with that Emperor's Divide already down, Knight able to get into the back line, shove Xie in, and then Peanut, this is heartbreaking. He moves back in to try and follow the Sonic Wave to kill JackeyLove, but ends up running into Carson Knight, unable to close the distance to get in range for the follow-up of the Sonic Wave, and means that he goes down. Kramer can't get to wall to flash. And now top Esports with 4 kills to start off this game.
I was going to say, why do I care about 369 teleporting? The fight was already done and dusted. He actually teleported back to lane, and he was in his happy places. Longxing couldn't follow that one up. And now, speaking of happy places, 1,400 gold lead for top Esports. I'm used to game 1. Rift Herald now getting taken. Kramer gets close to a turret plating, but denied.
I want to take a look at items real quick and tell me who's winning when it comes to it.
Knight has a proto belt, free 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a nice little pickup for Knight in the mid lane, and especially when you look at the items for his counterpart, Xie, nowhere near finishing that first item. Same when you look down towards Kramer, but still LGD have got a super strong 2-item spike where they can look to punish, but this is top Esports if they can continue to find these early engagements where the ultimates aren't available for Kramer and they can't abuse the team fights. But that window has now passed.
I mean, Peanut was trying to accelerate the bottom lane yet again. Kai'Sa comes down, Knight comes down. There's nothing Xie can do in this lane. And the Proto Belt Silas set off early. This is why we talk about Knight, because Knight as a player is so individually skilled, and when he gets a lead, he keeps it.
And he will not want to let this one go. He can have so much impact when it comes to even playing off in the side lane and just going up against Longxing, so that then you've got 369 who can play with the rest of the team the whole time. It gives a lot more opportunities for top Esports to find these big engages onto the likes of Kramer or even Peanut if he takes a step too far forward.
You know what I hate? Versing a Silas who has access to my Wukong ulti, my Azir ulti, my kick, and I'm Kramer. Even the box is annoying at this point. As we're going to speak of annoying, it's 3 versus 3 in the bottom lane. The box laid down nicely, kick into the wall. LGD finally gets something back, and it's a shutdown going to Kramer. Good counter gank by Peanut as the bullet time just to clear the wave. Get the shove, and LGD getting back some of that lost gold earlier on.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy to get that goal back, and Peanut managing to get the kick, sets up for the kill to go to Kramer, who is definitely in need of getting towards his first item. We'll just finish it off there. But this is where Peanut is kind of on a timer, so he needs to make these plays happen. Because if I'm on a Lee Sin and I'm looking at trying to get these insect plays against the Maokai, against the Nautilus, my timing window is super, super low. So realistically, what Peanut needs to do is have the impact now and then just become a peel bot in the later stages.
We're looking at Peanut, who's picked up 2 assists. He's got Warriors right now, but notice what JackieLove picks up, or rather Kramer picks up as he goes back, as Lungxing might be caught on out here in a bad place. Has the flash available, has to use it to get over the wall. Cyclone stolen on the way out, and Lungxing, just to clear a ward, gets punished hard.
And it means that for the Dragon that's in a minute, LGD won't be able to utilize the TP advantage as much as they'd like, because a Wukong without flash needs to rely on the likes of these wraparounds or in finding some really good clone placement to push them forward into a fight, but may not have the opportunity to do so now.
It's just losing plates towards his top side. The Herald in hand of Caster. Cyclone is still available for Lungxing, but almost at half health. Peanut has to pay the respect, and Shadow, but what are you going to do at this point? Knight's moving up as well. This feels like a lost turret.
Peanut's found out though. He knows that Knight is going up here, so watch Lungxing run for the hills, and now you can see the pings going down on mid turret. They want to try and answer.
But at least first turret blood is going to go over to top esports. They already had a 1k gold lead. It goes to 2. And this Rift Herald's going to get a second charge, so Peanut's decision making here is a net loss. Kramer looking for bottom side turret. Inner threatened by 3 people yet again. Can he find anything on the flank?
Look, they will get the second turret. Lungxing able to get away, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of turret gold going over towards top esports. Kramer will be answering on the bot side. Won't get any turret plates for Xie, which really sucks for LGD. This is the guy that they want to have a lot of their gold funneled into because he's the late game carry. So Kramer getting to these 2 items fast is nice, but it's not as good as Xie getting ahead.
Xie gets forced back in lane. JackieLove and Yu Yanjia rotate to mid, while at least the Dragon will be taken. So 2 turrets for 1, and a Dragon is a small amount for LGD to fight back.
And that's why top esports had JackieLove and Yu Yanjia.
Oh, but a mistake. Xie goes too far forward. Does he shuffle out? He uses the ultimate too, but there's so much follow-up from top esports, and JackieLove picks up his first kill.
I'm actually not sure if he flashed and got the heal from Kramer, he might have been able to survive. But it doesn't matter. They're not investing in that. They decide instead to just let him go down. And Xie, for what was LGD looking amazing in the last game, they're really falling apart in this one.
I mean, that was such a bait from JackieLove to stop the back. Xie walks up and Yu Yanjia commits instantly. And this is why we talk about the bottom lane of top esports. Their improvement from spring to summer, where Yu Yanjia was talked about as being the bottom 3 support, if not the worst. Now in the league, his communication and his coordination with JackieLove has improved so much. He goes towards the top 6 at the very least at this point. And alongside top esports, a star roster, he's coming up massively there. So a great kill, giving his AD carry 1. And Knight, meanwhile, adds more gold to top esports.
It's the confidence that I love out of Yu Yanjia as well. Flashing in aggressively, knowing the team is going to follow up. This is really what was missing in a lot of those scenarios where when he brought out the Thresh the first time, we're like, oh wait, Yu Yanjia's got skill. Like, this guy can really make these plays happen, but was always kind of footing around a little bit, not wanting to go in aggressively. This is now Yu Yanjia getting out of his shell and starting to become part of that top esports brand that we love.
Yeah, the confidence really feels like the word to use here with him, especially coming into summer. Is alongside people like Knight, who right now is going to finish off this turret. That is the 3rd turret going down, only 1 outer remaining. The inner was taken topside. LGD are looking for opportunities. Not to cast it, the chance is there, but Mark with the hook, not going to find his mark. The kick goes back. It's Peanut again as the box gets laid down. But look at that TP, the flank. Everyone coming in. Top esports collapse. There's no snake in this game, but it looks like LGD have been constricted by a boa. JackieLove pulls out with the killer instinct, but Peanut finally gets a kill back. A 2-for-2 trade is good, but top esports now with the pressure are looking mid.
Xie needs to move over here now to protect this tower, but I don't know if he's going to be there in time. Lungxing trying to dissuade them.
Doesn't have the ulti here. Knight still has the kick available. Damage won't be enough, but maybe it starts a pick. So for LGD, holding on to mid is great. And despite being so far down in gold, you have to say a trade is a trade. Better than nothing.
Great TP from 369 and Longxing, really messing up both of the game plans here coming into this fight. So you get 369 who's right in onto Kramer, who hasn't got an opportunity to try and escape. He goes down. Xie gets caught off on the wrong side of this fight as well. So where Top Esports may not have been able to find as big of a fight as they did, it's all off the back of that Maokai play.
But it comes back and, you know, Top Esports at the end of the day, even though if it was a fair trade, Rift Herald goes down as well. So adding one more to the pile. Xie pushing in the bottom wave meanwhile. We're having a look at gold, but look at where Xie is.
TPs now. Mark will spot them out. Yeah, Xie, I think you're
He
kind
still has the kick. Sun turret's up. How do you survive this with great skill? And Jackie Love just steals that one away. Top Esports are channeling through bot. They're going to clear this massive wave and take more gold.
With great skill comes great responsibility, and it's your responsibility not to be in that position as Xie, unfortunately, gets caught out by Top Esports. Kramer can get some damage on mid-turret, but you don't really lose anything as Top Esports for making that pick. And we'll see Longxing try and get some pressure on top side, but we still have Carson there, Towns.
You know what this series has told me? That Kramer's trying really, really hard in these games. And game 1, he was at Ezreal that I thought could carry it across the line. Game 2 here on the Misfortune has the most gold on LGD, maybe alongside Peanut. Level 10 MF with the Essence Reaver pick up earlier on. Infinity Edge soon to come. Is kind of leading the charge. And the only other person with 2 items in this game seems to be Knight with now the Zhonya's Hourglass. So they're the leaders for each team. Knight, of course, level 12 on Silas. And he says, come at me once again. He's been farming so damn well. He's leading the charge 2K over Xie in game 2.
And we can see the game plan we were talking about from Top Esports starting to come together. You have Knight facing off against Longxing in the top lane. Now they will start to group though, because Longxing will have to deal with this wave, and with Dragon about to spawn in 15 seconds, this Wukong will be late. So it looks like LGD are just going to try and gift this over and get their waves back in shape instead.
I will say, Dagda, Mountain Soul for 369 is going to feel pretty good as he's found Peanut. The Lee Sin has a way to get out of this one. Penguin up. As Knight's going towards top side instead. He wants Longxing. Kramer thinking about where to go. But as you mentioned, Dragon's going to be giving up, so.
And that's why Knight's moving back top. He just goes, hey, look, you know what? You guys don't need me for this. I can make sure that our top lane turret doesn't go down. And actually might catch Longxing out on a bit of a wraparound, but Longxing will be fine. He does have our Mark even sitting out on the wings to make sure that he gets out of safety.
Knight's actually here. It's a turnaround. But can they actually kill him at this point? It's going to take a lot of effort. 3 people coming up towards the top side. He's near his turret, but you require a dive, and Knight's going to be safe.
So much slower paced game than what we had last time, but still, you can see everyone kind of feeling out how they want this game to start moving forward.
It's definitely a bloodier game because remember in game 1, we saw a couple of kills go down, then a lot of pacing, and we got towards a slower mid-game, much like this, so there's a similar vibe to it. I gotta say, the vibe is more Top Esports favored this time around. We have to remember it is a 3K gold lead for them. But what LGD have shown us in this series is that their team fighting can match the likes of what we think is the best team in the LPL for summer. So still, we can't count them out. We've got to look at how they engage us because with Longxing's ulti, now his level 13 Wukong, with Xie again, you talked about it in draft, how this team fight comes together and how layering the CC and the coordination can bring LGD a win.
They need to make sure that 369 can't have access to that backline, because with the teleport on that last Dragon fight, it ruined LGD. Because the whole idea here is you fight front to back. You can reset with Xie or Peanut.
Or you can just get caught out, apparently. The Dark Passage doesn't save the day. No, Killer Instinct. Jackie Love says once again, who am I? Say my name. Mark going to get caught out as well. He flushes away, but Knight takes it with the Proto Belt. And Jackie Love only goes forward.
Peanut getting caught out in River. He doesn't have control past his own jungle at this stage. With all towers down, it's too easy for Top Esports to move in, and now they could crack this mid lane turret as well.
It's massive, Dagda. You're so right about that. And here comes the flank into the backline. 369 gets shoved away, but the Nature's Wrath lines them up nicely while Jackie Love is getting low from Longxing, who takes the shutdown, but Knight steals away the Emperor's Divide, used it better, and the Wukong is down as well. The bullet time interrupted by Caster. He's crying, of course. That would have been massive.
That would have been huge, especially when LGD are so far on the back foot. They do get the shutdown onto JackeyLove though, which is a pretty big deal as LGD now on the hunt, trying to see if they can spot out top esports members, but they're already long gone.
Yeah, 369 was low. They just wanted to kill in retribution with a hook here though. Mark may have found Knight. The abscondum duck into the thresh, but the cavalry's arriving. Mark gets low. Knight be able to turn instead of dying with nothing. Golden to waste time, but Knight in the end almost makes it out. But it's the shutdown to Kramer yet again with a death timer. And Baron up. 35 seconds, Dagda. I'm not sure what comes of this.
TP in behind from 369. They want to fight.
They want to continue going the LPL way. The hook lands once again here. TP right in front from LGD. 369 is so far away though. Yuan Judd dies before he comes on in with Lungxing ready, but no Cyclone. Sonic Wave the kick almost onto JackeyLove. Peanut under turret survives. With 5 members of LGD, they can keep going. 369 not sure what to do.
Killer Instinct there saves JackeyLove, but now you've got no way to follow up on the engage from 369. Marcus looking.
Yeah, again, the nature scrap, the hook lands. They turn onto the take one by one. Top esports are going in while Xie gets low in the backline as well. Cyclone hits no one. A new TP, a new challenger. While Lungxing is low himself. Knight has the kick stolen away, and he's killing everyone. This Silas was already so massive. He'll die in the end while Kramer wants the carry. This series is bloody fantastic. If you say LPL's not the best region, I'll fight you.
And now we still have so much more because the Baron doesn't go over. It's just kills and blood everywhere. And with JackeyLove now moving forward with Yuanji, they won't be able to get particularly much. But in that fight, Kramer, super low on mana. You don't have these big tools for the fight that LGD want. And that's why it's so back and forth.
This is so great. This is why I came here.
So let's look at it. We got 45 seconds here for sole point for top esports. You got, well, we're not going to see it here, but we're going to look at the end of this fight where 369 getting caught out. The turret placement there was to try and stop the rest of top esports from getting in, but a few wayward soldiers are going to keep them away. Knight still doing work in this back line. But I want to get back to this because we're going to have another fight in just a few moments because this is amazing. This is exactly what I love. But let's look at the summoner spells because JackeyLove, no flash, no smite. Knight, no flash either. So if Xie is able to get them back and set up properly in these close corridors of the jungle, so he's not worried about 369 flanking or any funny business, well then it can be the fight for LGD.
Well, one's going to brew up. Mark with the hook yet again. It lands onto 369, but he's tanky enough. Teleport was used in, so everyone's here. But this is going down super quick with Lungxing on the back end as well. A 2K, 1500. Dragon secured. One away from Seoul. LGD pull away themselves.
They can go Baron. They can just run straight at Baron. They have it as ear.
And top esports are backing away. No TPs. They'll burn in the previous engage. Pings must be going down. They got to think. LGD could just Baron.
They've realized they are running towards this, but they are going to do this so quickly. Maybe 369 can get them up with that big ultimate, though, while they're caught in the pit.
Yeah, 369 and Knight has the steal away as well. 3K, 2K box put down for safety. Baron secured. It's reverse. LG this time sneak it away.
It's not done. 369 has got them cut off here. He's got this big ult that can cut away LGD. We're going to fight hysterics.
It's going to go in the brush once again. We love this league. LGD cornered around it, only hits onto Peanut. The pillar's there as well. The Emperor's Divide into the wall. The bullet time doesn't do anything, but Lungxing starts spinning up. That delays time while LGD lose their top laner. In with the Killer Instinct. Once again, JackeyLove has the range. Caster for the chase. It's a double. It's 3. It's LGD with 2 left remaining. The Baron might not be worth because top esports are heading into the base to kill them all.
There's nothing left in the tank. Top esports are going to take this top lane turn. There's 25 seconds on the rest of LGD. They may not be able to push here without Baron, but they've cracked open the base of top esports.
At the very least, the death time is, not long enough. And with the Baron buff, LGD hold on. But top esports, when they take an inch, they go the full mile.
And the problem there was, one, that bullet time from Kramer not being able to hit properly, and 2, Xie not in a position to reset the fight, and top esports realized that. They only just need to catch anybody with this engage, and you can see here, Kramer and Xie are not in a position to follow up here, because everyone jumps onto those folks that are caught, pinned down in the corner, and being battered by top esports.
I got a quiz for everyone in chat. Is it Xie or Knight who used the Azir ulti better? There's only one right answer, and if you say Xie, you are absolutely blind. Knight with the 3-man ulti was sick. And this is why we hype on this mid laner. And for top esports, that led to that inhibitor being broken in the top side. The 2k gold lead, it doesn't feel like 2,000 gold as Knight may have found Peanut with the absconded duct. Not large enough. So, we resume, we return, we come back to a 1-minute Baron that is only on 2 members of LGD. Used defensively, of course. We wait for that Mountain Salt coming up in 2 minutes 30.
And maybe this gives the opportunity for LGD to push out these side lanes properly. Unfortunately, Longxing, as you said, doesn't have that Baron available, but top our bot lane here.
LGD are waiting for the flank. Yu Yanjia is not tanky enough. 369's going to
he
walk
got
in as well, but
spotted.
no Kramer! Oh my god!
The hall monitor got him! They spotted him!
Kramer.
It's all alarm bells ringing as Kramer messes up the play.
Oh
that could have been
my
it.
god. Well, we reset anyway. We return. Top esports are channeling through mid. And thanks to the Baron buff, Kramer will add a bit of extra pressure. He has the bullet time available, but doesn't have to use it. Top esports groupers 4, they're all spotted. 369 on the bottom side. Meanwhile, everyone from LGD has returned, grouped up, and that Baron buff on Kramer and on Xie is expiring in 10 seconds.
Look at the ward coverage for LGD on this Dragon, though. They've got some really nice ward placements for Longxing, and
Yeah.
I mean, top don't really have the same. So there's a good opportunity here for LGD if they play into their jungle, into those choke points, that they can try and nullify top esports having multiple engage routes onto them.
Knight sitting in the sideway. This is pressure from top esports added. Jackie Love is a big machine at this point. We'll look at items in a second because there's a comparison on your screen of Knight versus Xie. Knight has been the better mid laner in this series, you'd say. As Jackie Love, he's on almost 4. He's going Morella Nomicon Kai'Sa.
Well, it's the
Interestingly
AP,
enough.
so what he wants to do is get through these guys as quickly as
Or just
possible.
orb.
Use the passive. So definitely a super strong build and a lot of poke in it, which means that he's been able to play from afar. And then when he has that moment for the killer instinct, he can follow up very quickly, burst someone out, and try and utilize a more assassin-oriented style of
I guess the question is, does he upgrade it, right? In the LPL, we see a lot that they upgrade it. I don't know what the visual bug is with the W right now, but you can't see the Kai'Sa Ecathian Rain. What's it called? Void Seeker, that's
Void
it.
Seeker, yeah.
It's very straight. You'll see it in a second when he presses it, but no, we can't actually see it. There it is once again. Does hit Mark as Cast is in position. Look at this flank. Set up by the TP. Could be the game-ending plays. 369 is on top of Mark, who has to flash immediately, but 369 doesn't get anyone else. The turn from LGD, but the tank absorbing the damage. Not for long. The bullet time lines them up, and it's 4 versus 5 in front of the Dragon. LGD may have secured time in this game.
A rare mistake from top esports, but a very big one. 369, not in a position to get onto the carries, and Mark escapes.
Oh, but the
Now
flash onto Peanut while he goes golden. Top esports repositioned to find him. He's over the wall and he's out, but Longxing has gone way too deep without the rest of LGD. They've got minions channeling into their base. Knight has a TP. It's 4 versus 4, and Knight could make the game-ending play.
Oh, he got the hook onto Jackie Love,
That's
though.
big. Onto the 80 carry, but he backs away. Knight goes into the gauge. He doesn't need to backdoor because top esports
Oh my God.
wanted this fight all along. Xie tried, but Jackie Love's damage blows the game apart.
They rip through LGD. They tear through this series, and top esports will pour themselves up to the top of the table.
They give us one hell of a ride as Knight TPs into the base. It's a 2-0, but it felt nothing like it. LGD may be going home with a defeat, but boy oh boy did they show us what they're capable of. And did top esports establish that they're still the best TAM LPL team in summer.
Amazing play from top esports. Finding these great flanking teleports for 369, getting themselves in